This is Broadcast Beat Magazine with Ryan Salazar.
Ryan Salazar here with Broadcast Beat Magazine. We have a very special guest here at Broadcast Beat, Charlie Vogt, CEO of Imagine Communications. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, thank you.
Excellent. So what were the biggest trends you saw at the 2015 IBC show this year?
I think what was exciting for us is, 2 years ago at IBC, we actually started to introduce some themes around the evolution of SDI baseband to IP. We talked about, the evolution of being able to virtualize some part or all of the network functions in a software-defined workflow and network orchestration. And what was great about this year's IBC was that we actually saw a lot of validity to that vision and strategy with a lot of companies that were both talking about it as well as beginning to demonstrate a lot of this technology. And I think certainly IP in the cloud and the ability to leverage, IP as a universal protocol and being able to take advantage of, virtualizing some of the network functions in a cloud environment were certainly two huge themes that were two of four big themes for us, but those were two that I think we saw a lot of the suppliers talking about at the show.
You were one of the first to talk about a transition to IP and virtualized environments. Now that the industry seems to be headed firmly in that direction, where are we in this?
Well, we began talking about it not because of any other reason other than, my philosophy is, we have, 3,000 customers at any one given point. We have, somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,000 customers that are buying technology from us. And our job is to make sure that we keep our customers as competitive as we possibly can. And having spent the last 25 years on the IT side, I got an opportunity to see some of this movie that is playing out in our space already play out over the last decade. And so our sort of philosophy and strategy early on was to make sure that we were able to bring the technologies to our customers that ultimately were going to give them the ability to be agile and flexible and be able to get the right kind of returns on their investment, to be able to respond to the market in an age where you need to be able to turn up a new channel in a day. You need to be able to respond to new market and new technology ideas, and certainly the way the networks have been built historically don't give our customers the ability to do that. And so, yes, I mean we certainly have been talking about this for quite a long time. And what was great about this year's IBC is we weren't talking about it; we were actually demonstrating a lot of these technologies that we've put a lot of time, money, and energy into over the last 18 months. So it was a great show from that perspective.
In April at NAB, you guys announced a groundbreaking project with Disney ABC to transition their operations to the cloud. How's that deployment going?
Well, first of all, it was more than just groundbreaking. I mean, I think when you have one of the most iconic brands in the world that was basically sending a loud message that, for them to be able to participate in this new world of the way video is being moved, managed, and monetized, and to do that is to do that in a cloud virtualized software-defined IP world. I think sent a pretty loud message to the industry, and doing that with Imagine was certainly a huge validation in our vision and strategy, and frankly where we were with the technology. I mean, to untether an architecture that historically was built on proprietary hardware and software solutions is not an easy thing to do. I mean, you might think, hey, we're just going to take this software that's, traditionally been deployed in a proprietary hardware architecture, and we're going to now strip that out and now deploy it on common off-the-shelf computing platforms and servers and storage. It just doesn't work that way. It's taken a lot of time, and I think that we've put a lot of thought into how that evolution needs to work, and so it's given us a huge boost. And what I would tell you is the deployment is going great. There's two phases to it. There's the Disney piece, And then there's the ABC piece, and they're two very different elements. Disney obviously is developing programs, TV series, and movies, and a lot of what they do is file based. And ABC, which has both a pre-recorded and live element to it, is a bit different. And being able to virtualize, play out, master control operations and play out functions in an environment where you're delivering live content is not easy to do, because you have things like latency and other aspects that impact the quality of a picture and the delays around a picture. And we've done a lot to really create the quality and the performance and the latency such that a consumer won't know the difference. But for ABC and Disney, they get the ability now to be able to turn up a channel in a day, a week. They get to participate in the ability to launch disaster recovery initiatives. They can participate in new episodes that maybe would have never gone to air because they couldn't financially justify it, because it was a TV series or a program or a movie that wasn't fully vetted out and validated. And so there's lots of flexibility that they now have that are all new revenue generating aspects that have very little to do with the fact that ultimately they're also going to lower their costs. So the program is going well. There's two phases to it. The Disney phase is underway now. ABC will actually launch in the January timeframe. And as a result of it, I think we have, probably 2025, what we call proof of concepts or trials that are ongoing with other customers around the world to do something very similar.
Charlie, you guys have been working with some of the biggest names in the IT world, Cisco, HP, IBM, Arista, Microsoft. What are the strategies behind these alliances?
Well, I think early on, a lot of folks thought it was very controversial because we were actually introducing or accelerating the IT players into a market that historically they didn't participate. But my philosophy is that IP is certainly going to be one of the underpinnings of technology that is going to play a key role. It needs to play a key role in the industry's ability to adapt a standard whereby application development can be accelerated and certainly be unified. And so my philosophy is and has been to embrace the IT partners into this new ecosystem to ultimately enable what we're doing and enable what our customers are doing to allow us to get to where we need to much faster. So the relationships that we have fostered, with IBM and HP and Ericsson, which is even a competitor, Microsoft, Arista Microsoft have all been around this philosophy that we've got to create an ecosystem that is going to embrace where the industry is going, and certainly it's going very well, and I think it's put us in the right limelight going forward.
Charlie, what can we look forward to from Imagine over the next year?
Well, as long as I'm here, we're not going to sit still. So I could certainly tell you that. I think that 2016 is going to be an interesting year. I think that it is a year that, at least selfishly for Imagine, gives us the ability to actually fulfill and deliver on this bold roadmap that we started some 2 years ago. And so I think you're going to see a lot of the Disneys of the world begin to adopt some of this new technology. We have 90 engagements today that we're managing from pure IP deployments to virtualized cloud deployments to software-only deployments, and we're making a big investment and a big bet on the distribution side, where we're revolutionizing the way consumers take advantage of premise-based DVR functionality by putting think of DVR functionality on steroids, but virtualizing that in the cloud and giving distributors, AT&T, Verizon, Comcast, Charter, Televisa, Telsters of the world around the world, the flexibility and the ability to begin to create a personalized video locker for consumers in a much different way, a much more cost-effective way, and do it with a unilateral elasticity of storage and the way consumers are managing their video content that they don't have the ability to do today. And so there's a cool aspect that's going on the distribution side that we've historically not played in, that we have a lot of activity underway. But I'm hoping that what we have invested in this year gives us the ability to actually move into an execution and deployment mode in a significant way next year. And I certainly hope that we can be a catalyst to an ecosystem that embraces our existing peers in the space, that would allow us to come together on the standards that this industry really needs to get behind. Because today it's been an industry that's been built around thousands and thousands of proprietary snowflakes, and that's not the way that our industry is going to evolve. It can't be the way this industry evolved. It has to be one in which we embrace certain standards, and I think you're going to see Imagine get behind the pace in which this industry really needs to embrace.
It's no secret that video consumption patterns are changing, with more and more people viewing video over the internet and on demand. What is Imagine doing to enable the media and entertainment ecosystem to deal with the disruption and seize on the opportunities with the shift in the industry?
Well, I think that is a good end to the way we started, because what our philosophy has been, and it has been as long as I've been in this chair for 16 years, is that leaders of technology companies have to be focused on how we're going to enable our customers to be successful, especially in times of change. When the industry is in a steady state environment, which this industry going back 3, 4, 5 years was in for a decade. We're in probably the most disruptive environment that our industry, our customers have ever had to navigate. And that puts a lot more pressure on the technology suppliers to be able to work closely with our customers to ensure that we can make them competitive in an environment that is changing around them. To your point, next generation aggregators like Hulu and Netflix, and now you could look at companies like Google and Yahoo and Amazon as sort of next generation aggregators as well, who ultimately we believe are going to participate in the way video is produced and consumed going forward. So the traditional landscape is changing. It's changing very fast. The way video is being moved, managed, and monetized is changing, and all that means for us is that we have to be that much smarter. We have to be that much more aligned in the way our customers need to be thinking about the underlying technology to make them successful going forward. So I think the partnership that's required between the suppliers and the traditional media broadcasters and the TV networks has got to change. And at least in our particular case, I think we're getting much more intimate with our customers to ensure that we can make them as competitive as we can, and we can allow them to participate in whatever medium that they need to get video content to consumers that they choose to.
All right. Well, it's always an honor having you here, Charlie. Again, Charlie Vogt, CEO of Imagine Communications. Have a great day, and thanks so much for spending some time with us.
Well, thanks for the opportunity.